Hello, ladies.
Thank you. Tim, this is JoAnn
Hi,
Forester.
JoAnn.
She's helping
Nice
me,
to meet you.
with putting things together over there. She's a socialist, but don't hold that
Oh,
against her.
I'll
It's
pray
okay.
for you if you're helping him.
I'm praying for you for dealing with him.
Oh, come on now.
I don't recall
It's not
seeing you
that
in here
bad.
before.
You want to help?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about
You're
his
nice
place.
enough.
We have all kinds of specialty drinks. We have cappuccinos, lattes, espressos, steamers. I can even add shots or flavorings if you want. I even have soy milk if you want to do the vegan or healthy thing. Also, we have some delicious pastries. Now, today's special is eclairs with macadamia nut biscotti, drizzled with a little bit of white chocolate. And all of our pastries go wonderful with our coffee drinks. Now, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Marcus, and I'm the chef here. So, enough about me. What can I get you?
Coffee, black.
Coffee, black. I mean, that's not even interesting or adventurous. I mean, if that's what you want, I mean, that's fine. I mean, okay, be right back. All the things we got in this cafe, all he wanted was coffee, black. Yeah, well, that's not even right. You could have stayed home for all that.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, Tim, how are you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You must be addicted to my coffee.
Hey.
I'm glad to see you just kind of hanging out here and being with... You know what? You know what's driving me crazy? I'll buy all the coffee you want if you can just help me out here. Just had this kid shot right down the street here the other day, and it's just time and time again, I'm seeing all this stuff take place, and I don't know what to do about it, man. I don't know if there's something that we as Christians can do.
It's an interesting phenomenon.
Well, this is one of our actual tables and chairs that people can come and sit in during the program.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. We got nice wooden chairs and a nice slate table, and Marianne Skiba, our set designer, picked all this stuff out, and we've got a bunch of them, so you can come and you can join us.
Ooh, they can be here live when we tape.
Yeah, they can be here when we tape.
Like
and
actual cafe patrons.
yes, and you know what? We'll have coffee for them. We'll have cappuccino, espresso, lattes for them. We might have a muffin or two for them, just because they're coming in to be a part. Now, but you've got to make reservations. And the only way to do that is go to www.hisplace.tv. That's www.hisplace.tv.
What is that?
That's www.hisplace.tv and make your reservation. You just type in when you can come, the time that you can come, because we do this show on Tuesdays and Tuesday evening. So if you're free on a Tuesday evening, come see us. His Place.
Oh no, it's bad. Shut the door, shut the door. Not again. It's too big to stop. I can't keep it out. More rain. I can't stop weeping. My friend down the street got drained, braced, and waterproofed from J&D Waterproofing. He has a whole new lease on life.
Basement water problems? Don't cry. Call 1-800-VERY-DRY. Oh, that can't be good. Call J&D Waterproofing.
I feel my job is extremely important, and knowing that you've helped people out on the ground, the firefighters in particular, just the fact that they see us up there making an effort gives them a lot of comfort. In my civilian job, I fly people from point A to point B, but in the Air Force Reserve, I get to save lives. I'm Major Mark Stewart, and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
Here's your coffee in a shiny new His Place mug.
Doesn't have any handles.
Ah,
How am I supposed to drink coffee out of this?
Don't let that stop you. It's double insulated, so it keeps the coffee really hot. See? The mug doesn't get hot, not the coffee. Now, the coffee's still hot, so it's, not cool. Isn't that cool? The mug not getting hot, the hot coffee still. Well, anyway, I mean, everybody's using a mug now. It's the latest thing.
I don't want the latest thing. Don't you have a mug in the back with a handle on it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I could look for one for you, but then, I would have to pour your hot coffee out of this nice, insulated His Place mug, and then, then the coffee's gonna be cold and not hot, and then I gotta keep coming back and pouring it again, which is not just more work, not that I want more work, but please, if you just use this mug right here, and drink out of that, okay? Okay.
Marcus, listen, I got the machine ready for any more espresso, but listen, while my friend Greg just came, and I want to sit down, I'm going to take a break with him, so you'll be in charge for a little bit, okay?
Me? I mean, what about Louis? I mean, he can do it. I mean, I wanted to go and on my break and film another episode of Cooking with Chef Marcus.
Hey, I'm right here. You don't have to use the headset, okay? I can hear you. I can hear you, okay? Listen, you know Louis. If he gets out here with the customers, there's going to be problems. That's why I got him back there through the drive-thru. It's just going to be a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, okay?
Tim, okay. I think I can handle it.
Okay. 15 minutes, wait on the customers, check everything out. It'll be fine. It'll fly by just like that.
Well, I hope my big break doesn't just fly by. All right, Tim, I'm
hanging there.
on it.
Here we go, buddy.
Thank you so much, Tim.
I've been reading all this stuff, and I'm seeing, you know, when this kid got shot down the street here, just driving me crazy.
Yes.
Reading all this stuff on the web, the newspaper, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know, we've talked about this before, but it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Well, I think because we need to attack this problem from different fronts. I think the Christian community, we have to continue to pray and to reach out into the heart of the community, but then we need some help from our federal government. We need congressional help. The same strategy that's being employed to fight terrorism on all fronts, to protect the maritime industry, aviation, trucking, rail. We need those kind of resources to come into urban America. When you look at the problem and the plight of urban America, you're looking at problems of poverty, you're looking at public education system that's failing, you're looking at just a lot of disenfranchisement on the part of that community.
Greg, I know, you know, you're working with these kids all the time and things like that, and it's not a real simple answer thing, but why is it? I mean, why can some kid in the suburbs not necessarily be going out there and shooting people, but these kids are shooting one another? I mean, they're not coming into the suburbs and shooting kids. They're staying in the city and shooting one another. What's that all about?
The root of most of these problems is the drug trade. And this is what I mean when I say that we need help from federal government in terms of stemming the flow of drugs into this country and into these communities, because the root of most of these problems is drugs. So that population of youth that's destroying one another, if you look close enough, you're going to find 9 times out of 10 drugs is involved in the process.
Now when we talked about this a while back, you had mentioned something about the fatherlessness in the community too. Where do these guys go? Where do they go that they're not around? Well, again, you're looking at imprisonment. You're looking at absentee fathers who've been affected by many of the ills of urban America, victims of bad situations, have these children, abandon them, many of them incarcerated, unemployed, just rendered almost null and void. I got people in my church that are in communities where they're afraid to sit out on their porch in the summer because somebody's going to come by and shoot. I've got just a couple blocks down here from the cafe that this kid gets shot. And what practically, okay, what can is there something that maybe just one person can do? Is there something that I could stand up and say, you know what, I can make a difference this way with these kids in my neighborhood that are shooting each other?
I think everybody has to make an effort to reach somebody. This is what we do. I'm not looking at the big picture, but every individual youth that I personally can impact through what we do ministry-wise and job-wise, that's what I try to do.
Yeah, because I know that you're there. You're fighting these fights on a daily basis.
Have been for a long time.
You're helping with these guys that are coming out of jail. These guys that are could potentially end up in jail, and you're doing the one-on-one thing. When I think of government trying to handle it, I'm thinking, oh man, there are so many things that the government for the last 100 years.
Hi, I'm in charge today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is Marcus. I don't know if you ever met him. This is my
Marcus,
friend
how are
Greg.
you?
Good. How's your latte? Oh, I know the pastries are good because I baked them. I would have filmed myself baking more of them, but I'm in charge.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Totally ridiculous. What's going on?
How's your drink? It's okay for you to tell me because I'm in charge.
Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Marcus.
Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, just let me know.
It's just delicious.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, is it driving you as crazy as it's driving me?
Well, you got your beard, so it's really
Oh,
driving
my election
you.
beard.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like a playoff beard. I use this when the election season gets in, kind of superstitious thing, to make sure that my people get elected, right?
Yeah, your election beard. You know what? And while everybody else, with all the political ads, puts their game face on.
I hate these ads.
He's hiding his face.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Yes. Take things out of context. It's like the muckraking, right?
William Randolph Hearst, gotta love him. Remember the Maine.
What I'd like to do is get rid of all the advertising agencies because they and the other mainstream television are just making money hand over fist. This is where I have the problem, is the money that goes into promoting this.
It's big business. Elections are big business. It's in election year. What's that? 50% of their profit.
Oh, for the media corporations? Sure. Absolutely. I mean, just look at it. Look at your evening news. Any evening news. It is one after another of just political ad. And what do they talk about? They're all talking about nothing.
Well, I put the mute button on.
You have
That's
to.
what we can
Everybody
do.
tunes out, and you wonder why people aren't informed. How can they get informed? If you're in a quick little version like this, then you don't get any information because all you're doing is getting sound bites, and what's the point?
But we don't insist on it either. We don't ask for the information. I mean, if we really were concerned, we'd pick up the phone and call the TV stations and say, you know what? I've had enough. I want real dialogue.
You know what it is, though. I mean, it's not even that. It goes to the point that people just want to watch Dancing with the Stars, or whatever, or Jersey Shore, or whatever the stuff is. It's just it boggles the mind. People just don't want to be bothered.
Do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
No, I don't. Thank you very much.
But doesn't that out of context stuff drive you crazy?
Yes, it does drive me crazy.
Take a sound bite.
Yeah.
Take a sound bite that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. And it's amazing to me that they get away with using these things, and it's almost libelous, but because it's just pictures, no one does anything about it.
You think about it, I mean, the FTC and all these other people, they sit there and they spend all this time regulating all this stuff, that you can't say this about this particular Mattel toy or whatever, and then a campaign ad comes along and you can say anything you want on a campaign ad, whether it's true, not, or otherwise. I mean,
Well, don't you think that both parties turn their eyes on it, turn their heads? They don't want it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying any particular party is more
Marcus,
responsible.
where's Tim, man? I got somebody to sign this form before I can bring the rest of the supplies in, buddy.
Oh, well, Tim's on his break. He left me in charge.
Oh, okay, well, you can sign it.
Whoa there now, slow your roll. Tim didn't say anything about that. Besides, I got to go rehearse another episode of Cooking with Chef Marcus.
Oh, you think you're going to be a big star or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Now, careful. I was going to let you be another guest on one of my shows. You know, my last YouTube show that showed had the most hits ever since you were on it.
Get out.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It had something like, 10,000 hits. I mean, I'm still trying to catch up and checking all the messages, you know. Soon I'll be in charge of my destiny. Yeah.
Wow, 10,000 hits. Yeah. That's unbelievable.
His place, his place.
The other day, I was driving through one of my favorite areas, construction zones. I don't know if they drive you crazy, but they drive me crazy. And there was this particular construction zone where everyone was supposed to go to the left, and there were a few cars that were going off to the right. They were really confused because the signs were saying different things, and there wasn't really a clear direction. You know, life can be just like that. We don't know necessarily where we're supposed to go without some kind of direction. The good thing is that God offers direction to you. He says the plans that he has for you are for a future and for a hope, plans for your good and not for your destruction. The way to get to know those plans is to get to know him better. Through his place, we're trying to do that and trying to help you understand that. But if you have questions and you have difficulties that you're walking through, we'd like to help you. Contact us here at his place at feedback@hisplace.tv, and we'll be glad to answer you and send you out some information that'll help you along your way so you won't get lost and won't get confused in the construction.
United States Armed Forces, the USO delivers the joys and comforts of home. Even out here. Find out how you can help at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Aren't you already in charge of your destiny? I mean, you really don't need to be working here.
Well, I'm moving towards my destiny. I mean, you got to start somewhere at something to get to where you want to be, right?
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Well, yeah, this job's a perfect fit, you know. The pay's all right. I get to cook, and, you know, Tim lets me, you know, film my show, you know, when I'm not in charge.
Well, I want to know why you're so unhappy. I mean, it looks like to me that's a pretty good situation.
I'm not unhappy. I just don't like being distracted from my goal, you know?
Well, who's distracting you? I mean, all Tim did was ask you to, you know, relieve him for a 15-minute break. I mean, you're making a big deal out of nothing. You need to calm down, you know, and smell the roses. You know what I'm saying?
Tim,
like
you need me in the office? Oh, you know what? Sorry, Joe.
What do you
Tim
mean?
needs me. I'm in charge. I'm sorry.
Well, Wesley Clark, I mean, he was running too. But you don't get to be that kind of a guy and that high up to be an admiral in the United States Navy by being a goofball. And then my problem is that I'm sure that, you know, there are many things that I agree with him at. I'm sure that he's an upstanding guy, but then at the same time, you see campaign ads like the ad you were talking about with the, you know, Chinese flag behind, you know, the anti-Toomey ad or whatever that is. I mean,
Unfortunately, the current
And
time.
that makes him look bad, I think.
That's exactly my point.
But it does, but
It
what's he
reflects
gonna do?
poorly on that.
Well, you look at the other side. Let's take a look at him personally, because I've had time and I've been on panels with him. I find that his attitude towards small business is extremely refreshing. And, you know, Phil, you've certainly had problems with anti-business attitudes.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
where's he stand on the IRS, by the way? We know where Phil stands.
Yeah, thanks, my dear. We don't like to talk about that in mixed company. But, you know, as far as small business goes, I like I said, I'm sure I might agree with him sometimes on the small business program. But I don't know how you can say that and then you go and vote for something like Obamacare, which is going to just crush small business. The taxes that are coming up, they're talking about not renewing the Bush tax cuts. And that is going to, you know, the tax increases that are going to go across the board are going to be huge, especially on small business people that come from that. So how can you have issues like that and then come out and say, I'm for small business? That's my problem. It doesn't jibe with what you sit there and say.
for the government. And you, somewhere around the world, you have to pay.
You do. You do.
People want programs, and then no one wants to pay for them. And the only thing that we figured out in all the hundreds of years that we've been in existence here is to tax people. Somebody has to pay.
Right.
Well, one of our problems is that we're like spoiled children. We want everything, but we're not willing to make the sacrifices that it takes.
If you want infrastructure, you're going to be taxes. How else are you going to pay for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just infrastructure and things like that that are national defense, things like that are necessary. What you have is every incoming group, it seems, it just becomes getting more and more and bigger and bigger and more entitlements and more this. There's never a situation where you sit there and say, okay, I'm good with this. This is what I need to do in order to live. Every year that comes by, there seems to be a new right.
Well,
you know, there's a right to cable TV. There's a right to this. There's a right to having a GPS in my car. There are certain. There are some things that you have to say that's not a right.
I would even tax the Social Security, and that would give. Yes, I would.
You would, Joe. You would tax Social Security
over a certain. Like if I'm getting $20,000+ in Social Security, and I need to continue to pay.
I have an aunt who always says that they give all the senior citizens all the breaks, but the truth of the matter is it's the young people that need the breaks.
Well, you know, it's not. It's really the most difficult thing. The people that get the breaks are the people.
And she's 83, by the way.
That don't need the breaks in the high end, and the people in the low end that need the breaks. The people in the middle, they don't get breaks, and that's what drives me insane. The people in the middle are just getting squashed.
How's everything going? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
It's Mr. Wiley, and I'd like a refill.
Okay, sure. Coming right up, Mr. Wiley.
In a mug with a handle on it.
Well, see, we don't have any mugs with a handle. And I looked, but I can get you a refill.
I heard you telling those people you're in charge. Well, if you're in charge, you can find that mug with a handle on it in the back.
Well, I am in charge. Well, I'm merely just a figurehead. Seriously, I'm just filling in for Tim while he's on his break. I mean, I really do look for a mug with a handle, but, you know, I couldn't find anything. Maybe Tim has something in his office or somewhere I don't know about. You could talk to him about that. Honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, the coffee's good either or, you know? I just don't see what...
Hey, Marcus, I really got to roll, man. You got to sign this order form so I can get out of here.
Well, Tim's right over there, so I'm going to go ahead and ask him.
No, don't, you know, I thought you said you were in charge.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, signing order sheets, I mean, I don't know if something goes wrong. I want the responsibility.
I'm not going to go wrong with the order. I'm the one that delivered it, remember?
Sure, Mr. Cocktail Weenies. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you heard about that, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just pulling your leg. I mean, anybody can make a mistake, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we all can make mistakes. About this order form, just put your little John Henry right here.
I'm just ask Tim right there.
No, don't go over there. Timmy's on his break.
Oh, well, I guess I can sign the sheets. I mean, what's in the boxes anyway?
I have no idea. Maybe we should go check them and find out, huh?
Yeah, let's do that before I
man.
sign my life away.
Yeah, right. You're right. Good point. Good point.
You understand this, I think, more than anybody. You know, you're working both sides of it. You're working from the criminal justice side of things, and then as a pastor, and you're right there. You're crazy, man. You're right there in the middle of it all with your church. I mean, what's your church doing?
Well, Tim, that's right where we want to be. I think any ministry wants to be where the action is, where the need is. I think if Jesus was here, he'd be right in Homewood with us. So basically, one of the things that we're trying to do, we've developed a program, and the objective and the goal for us between now and the end of the year is to reach 300 unchurched individuals with the gospel, praying for them, and of course, just recently we had our very first, what we call the Christ Seeks You Ministries, and our place was full of non-believers, unchurched people struggling with drug addictions and other issues, and we just prayed for them and ministered to them, and our prayer is that they'll take the blessing they received and it will positively impact their lives. So one soul at a time, that's our objective.
No, none of your folks were afraid to go minister to these folks, to be there. They're not afraid to go to church there.
That's where we're most comfortable, and you know, we go back many years, and you know, that's my passion, that's my heart. We're the roughest area. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, well, and that's you, that's me. I mean, we go into those places, but the normal folks. I mean, you've got little old ladies, you got young kids, you got young guys, all in your church, and they just see these young guys that are struggling with this stuff as just people that, hey, I can reach them.
These individuals are people with problems like anybody else. So we look at the violence and the devastation, but these young men have souls. They need hope, and the only people that can give them hope are those of us who know the Lord. And so right there in our congregation, it's our objective to reach them.
Now let me ask you something real honest, okay? I'm a white guy. I want to go into these neighborhoods and reach out to these kids. Would I be accepted or rejected?
You would be accepted. I think it's a misconception that you wouldn't be, but you would be.
So I could actually do something. I don't have to think about just it's only Greg that can do it. It's only my other pastor friends.
You can play a significant role, and you would be surprised at how well you would be received and accepted. Like in any other situation, there's always those who don't accept, but you would be accepted.
Because it would be, for me, for other folks that have suburban churches or in suburban churches, it'd be like coming into a different country, a different culture, because the mindset is different, the attitudes are different, but
exactly.
The gospel's still the same.
The gospel's the same, and you link up with a good, positive ministry that's in the heart of that community, team up, and get the job done.
If my church, if some of the guys from my church have said, hey, you know what, let's go down and let's help Greg out.
You'll love it. I mean, it's going to be great, man. I can show you the ropes. You're going to...
Please, go deliver something somewhere else.
I want to know why all my customers tell me that.
You know what? I can't imagine why they would do that.
No, unbelievable.
What is going on back here?
Marcus is in charge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Well, Tim went on break for a second, left me in charge, and Joe here won't let me forget it. But you know what? His time is up. I'm done.
Yeah, well, Tim's still talking to his buddy over there, and you know he loves to talk.
Yeah, just great. Well, I'm gonna let him know that his break is over. His break is over right
good
now.
luck.
I'm about to tell him.
So, man, I appreciate it. I want my church
Tim,
to
I'm
do something.
sorry to interrupt, but you know, 15 minutes is up. Yeah.
Wow, that time went flying by. Hey, so, how'd you do? It wasn't as hard as you thought, huh?
Yeah, no, not really, I guess. You know, I just had to sign some order sheets for Joe, you know,
Good,
try to give me a
good,
delivery
good.
job. And, you know, I asked about, I don't know, 1,000,000 questions.
Good, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
Good.
well, I checked on all the customers, and everybody seemed happy. Except
Excellent.
that old guy over there in the booth who was complaining about getting some black coffee in a mug with a handle.
Well, I don't think we have any of those. I mean, mugs, that is, with handles. We've got plenty of coffee.
Well, that's exactly what I said. But he didn't like the new His Place mugs. He didn't say anything about the coffee, which tastes the same either or. So I don't know what's wrong with him.
You know what? I'll go talk to him. I'll take care of this. Excuse me, sir. Hang on. Walter? Walter Wiley? How you doing, buddy? How's Josie? Hey,
I don't do hugs, Tim.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Still hung up on that. Hey, I hear that you wanted a cup of coffee with a mug with a handle on it. You know, for you, I'll search through the back. I'll scrounge through and see if I can find a mug with a handle or something. But you know, these new His Place mugs, they're really good. They're double insulated. They keep the heat in there. And you know, what do you think?
The coffee was good.
I mean the mug.
Coffee tastes so much better in a mug with a handle on it.
Hello, and you are?
Hi, I'm Erica. I hear the cafe's hiring.
Sure. Well, I'm in charge, so I'm the one you want to talk to.
Great. I like to fill out an application.
Sure. Well, now I'm not only the chef, but I'm also in charge.
You mentioned that already.
Right. Now, where did I put those applications?
I don't know. You're the one who's in charge.
A sense of humor. See, that's great.
I want to know why more people don't have a sense of humor.
You know what? That's a good question. How about we discuss that as you fill out your application? We can sit right over here since, you know.
You're in charge?
Well, I was going to say I'm on my break, you know, but you fill that out. Put your number right there.
We're all hoping you'll stop by. So come on in and find a friend to help you on your way. Pull up a chair and find his care. We'll be here every day in his place. Ba-ba-da-da, his place, his place, his place.
Welcome to His Place. Thanks for coming to the cafe, folks. Don't forget, hisplace.tv. Tune in 24 hours a day. Send us your feedback at feedback@hisplace.tv whenever you want. There are polls, there's fun, there's all kinds of... You can actually tune in and watch the show right there on a podcast. We archive every show so you can catch up and see what's going on with all your favorite characters. Hisplace.tv. Tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. And we repeat Wednesdays and Fridays. Tune in all the time, folks. Thanks.